A very good day to you. Welcome to Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Jedel Kabir. Absolutely grateful that you've joined us for a political conversation, a conversation that I hope will make our leaders, help them in making better policy decisions and political moves. These conversations, of course, are very simple, truthful, unbiased with Herman Manyora, who puts them across in a hard-hitting way. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
We're talking about the bipartisan team, what is happening there. Eugene Wamalwa, DAPK leader, stormed out after Chebukati failed to appear, said the elections were not credible last time. Cherera 4 actually appeared also recounting the threats that they had to go through so that they resign from IEBC. These proposals that are coming into the talks, what do you make of them? Let's start from there. Gideon Muigai will also talk about him. He also presented his proposals about what should happen. What do these proposals mean to these talks?
We are trying to fit a trailer into a garage designed for a small car. You know, a domestic, when you have your house,
yeah.
So mahali pa kuegezea magari, gari yako moja, small vehicle, and you are trying to force a trailer to fit in that garage. It can't. That's why you see shenanigans at Bomas.
What do you mean by a trailer in a car garage?
You know, a place where you can put your car, a garage. That place a trailer cannot fit there. It's too small.
Are you saying the team?
So the talks were not meant for, you know, we have opened up the talks for each and everything, all and sundry. But that's not how they were designed. This was supposed to be a small issue capturing outfit. And the issues were specific. Okay?
Yeah.
And it was like a conversation between Raila and Ruto. Between Azimio and
Kenya
Kwanza. And the two had specific issues to deal with. But now we have opened up and everybody is bringing all manner of things. And I don't think the committee is prepared to handle these kind of issues.
Then is this BBI, that's probably the biggest questions in most people's minds. Are you looking at Building Bridges initiative where we have recommendations from all and sundry and then we come back to a constitutional moment? Is this what we're looking at? Because most of these proposals we're getting are all looking at amending the constitution.
Let me tell you, it is becoming increasingly clear to me, and I'm a little worried, that Kenya will have to usher in a constitutional moment and then they will come up with a constitution. This Bomas nonsense may lead us to some kind of catastrophe. There could be some kind of upheaval in the country. Because Bomas is not going to be able to handle these issues. And therefore it's possible for us to go back to square one. And unfortunately for the country, people may now go back to the streets without regards to Raila Odinga. And the chaos that will ensue will create a constitutional moment. Because it's rare that constitutions are made when people are laughing over a cup of coffee. Constitutions arise out of some crisis. People are fighting. People are going for each other. Then a constitution becomes an avenue through which they can capture their various fears and aspirations and forge a way forward.
Okay.
So you come to Bomas with a cup of tea, well dressed in a suit, another one in a cup of mandazi, nini wanakula hapo. You can't make a constitution that way.
What is this?
People must be fighting.
Is this the right way of looking into the election? Because all of this was all about last year's elections. Of course, they called the commissioners. Team Chebukati did not appear. Chebukati actually sending a statement saying this will be a betrayal to their staff who were tortured and threatened back in 2022. When it comes to looking at last year's election, auditing, should we call these commissioners once again? Of course, Kenya Kwanza's team also coming out and saying, why didn't the Supreme Court hear the Cherera 4 out? They're coming and bringing this issue again. Is this a way of auditing last year's election?
No. You can't audit last year's election at Bomas. It's another garage trying to fit a trailer. You can't. A lorry cannot fit in the garage meant for a car. The issue of last year's election is too big to be handled at Bomas. Bomas is a legal outfit. You cannot discuss last year's election within a legal out. I've said this many times.
Then what is happening in Bomas? If
nothing.
You are asked,
there's nothing.
What is really happening?
There's nothing.
They're meeting almost twice a week.
I wanted to go. Then I said no. I'm not going to queue with fools. I wanted to go. I said, what am I going to say? But now if I go, I'll tell them just fold up and go home. But I can't do that because they are good people. They are drawing allowances.
Okay.
Maybe they could buy me a cup of tea, who knows?
Then you're saying the solution is not there. Before you even talk about Githu Muigai's proposals, where is the solution? Where is the solution to what is happening in the country, to the cost of living, of course, to elections, to IEBC? Where is the solution?
You know, when people were in the streets, the mistake that happened is for Raila and Ruto to have met. That's the worst mistake. That was the worst mistake. And I think they were pushed into this thing by other people, by foreigners. That was the worst mistake.
Why so?
You see, the friction would have remained. And it is that friction between the government and the opposition with the struggle played out in the streets. That friction would have birthed a new constitution, a new charter. But now these guys went to have a cup of tea together.
But how do you have this new charter, this looking at the constitution, without people sitting down? Of course,
they cannot sit down.
You go to the streets and then you come and talk.
You see, you cannot go to a garage if you are driving a lorry. You park it outside.
You're going back to the same analogy.
Yes, you park it outside. They want to park a lorry in a garage meant for a small car. You can't. Bomas is like a garage for a small car.
Okay.
It was meant to handle specific matters identified by Azimio and to some extent by Kenya Kwanza. But now you see everybody's going to Bomas. You want to talk about Githu? He has his own suggestions. Okay. Sherega is saying 7 years, 7 years. Others want more counties. Are you telling me that can be handled at Bomas? Even the time is not enough. Even the structure they have put in place. I'm a communications person, and I know when those people are talking to those people, they don't have what it takes to handle the issues, synthesize them, distill them, and produce a report. They don't have the capacity. And if I went there, I just laugh. I'll tell them, can you read all these documents, listen to all these people, and within 60 days prepare a report? You can't.
Okay.
That's my area. I know they can't.
Then I'm looking at the way forward. I'm looking at the way forward, and from what you're saying is that we are stuck in a place where we're not seeing the future. What is the way forward if, you see, we are looking at this conversation that is happening in the country, and for you're putting it across a safe, it's null and void. It's not going to help anyone.
It's going nowhere. What it has achieved is peace. And they had better move fast and do something before this peace is jeopardized, is compromised. And this is it. You know, sometimes you can fluke through. You can have a problem and fluke through. The president can fluke through this problem by simply addressing the cost of living immediately. Then, although we still have the question, the political question, although we shall still have issues in the next election, at least for now he can buy peace. And hopefully, seeing that he can win the election without any manipulation, he can allow Kenya to pursue a path of free and fair elections. He can be the first to ensure there are free and fair elections and put structures in place, because he will not be. But for now, if the president is seeing this moment, that he has achieved this peace, and this peace is temporal, what do? You address the cost of living. You address the things that are irritating Kenyans, like ministers moving around the country, wasting so much money, unnecessary overseas travels, okay? A rotten cabinet. You address all those things when the peace is there. Then, because the opposition is more or less shattered, and you are sure you are winning 2027, then you can allow for free and fair elections. Put structures in place, even if it means a few panel beating of the constitution and the laws, and then nobody can complain about it. So that political question may still remain, but at least a substantive something has been done. You see,
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you look at Githu Muigai's proposal saying, look, we need about 100 constituencies and each constituency to have a man and a woman, that will create a balance 50-50 gender rule. And of course, we will also reduce the wage bill for our representatives. And also you look at where he's taking these proposals. Does this mean, before you even tell me whether you agree with Githu Muigai, does this mean that this Bomas talk is all about constitutional changes? Before you even address the issue of Githu Muigai, is Bomas talks about constitutional
basically,
change?
anything you say must touch on the constitution. Everything in the Bomas is about the constitution. And almost everything they are talking about will end in a referendum.
Okay.
So everything. But about Githu Muigai, there is what is possible, practical, and there is what is right, what we should do. We don't need more than 100 constituencies in this country, so Githu is right. Okay?
Okay.
This is a small country. You need like 80 constituencies, or even 100, or even go to the old 180. But now, surely, even Parliament is like a market. You can't even talk, and you still want to add more. It shows how stupid we are. So Githu is right. We need fewer. But again, Githu is wrong because, first of all, at the level of whether it is possible or not, that one, let's leave it.
Yeah.
Because you know it's not possible.
Yeah.
You will have to kill people for them to allow you to have 100 constituencies instead of 290. That one, that is.
Well, it's possible.
That's why I'm telling you, constitutions, changes, reforms don't happen when people are laughing, when people are having mandazi and chai. They happen when people are fighting, when a country is going through a major crisis. At that time, you can say, do we need 290 constituencies? Look at how we fought, we wasted time, we destroyed property because of being stupid people. From now, we are doing things that make sense. We don't need more than 80 constituencies in this country. It will be there. But when we are laughing and taking tea, you can't reduce 290. You can't touch even one.
So the practicability of it is the issue.
Yeah, so but there's another issue which I want to tell Kenyans. We love our women. Women are our mothers, and they are our sisters, they are our wives, they are our daughters. There's no way you can fail to love women. And there's never a society that doesn't appreciate its women. Muzungu has never understood the African, for example. I've read some book like The Flame Trees of Thika by Elizabeth Huxley. That Muzungu thinks the Kikuyu is the most stupid person on earth. Because the Kikuyu man goes to drink Muratina. Okay? Comes home drunk, but passes the shamba, somewhere along the road, the way as he's going home, singing about his imaginary riches, walking side by the side with a wife who has been in the shamba the whole day. She's carrying food, she's carrying a child, she's carrying firewood, she's carrying everything, and the man is walking by the side from his drinking spree and singing and praising his gods, himself with his gods. So he said, this is the laziest man God ever created in the whole world, the Kikuyu man. She doesn't know the man has another role. When the leopard will come at night to eat the goats, the woman will not go out. It's the man who will go out with a log of fire. A man will face a lion. This woman doesn't know. So there's no community that doesn't value women.
Okay.
And there's also no way a country where the women are about 50%. You cannot leave them out of the affairs of the country. Is that not true?
True.
But we take this thing too far. That we must have 2/3 gender rule. That's nonsense. That I've told people is nonsense. And I'll repeat, it's absolute nonsense. It's absolute nonsense.
Why?
You know what? First of all, even when we have attempted to give women things, what kind of women have we ended with? One day somebody looked at the nominated MCS in Nairobi. They were all beautiful women. Someone said, how come they are coincidentally all nice looking, beautiful? These are people's girlfriends. Not to slight our women, but the women know that is true. They have also complained. But the more substantive question is, we are a poor, dirty third world country. This is a country, like I've said, where people go to bed hungry. hungry in their millions. Where children go to school barefoot. The number of feet of Kenyan children that are infested with jiggers is heartbreaking. If you are to count Kenyan children with jiggers, you'll be ashamed of being a Kenyan.
Okay.
85+% of the Nairobi residents live in places where there's no sewage, where there's nothing, there's no water. And these things you call slums. These things are worse than slums. A country like this, what does it require? A country like Kenya is like a patient being wheeled into a theater. And instead of saying you want the best surgeon to operate on your patient, you are saying, ule alipasua mgonjwa asubuhi alikuwa Mjaluo, sasa saa hii tutafuta Mgikuyu apasue. The two surgeons yesterday were women. Let's have a surgeon, a male surgeon. We are not at that level. This country is like a plane. It is flying past the Ukoju, across the Atlantic Ocean. Thousands of kilometers. It's flying across the Atlantic. We want a pilot to land that plane in America. We don't care whether it's a black or brown or yellow or green or a woman or a man. No, we want a good pilot. This country is at a stage where we want the best man or woman for every assignment. But to put in law that if you are having jobs, there must be two. If there are 3 jobs, at least one must be a woman. Nonsense. Let it just be the best person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe finally.
Now, you see, if there are issues of women going into elective posts, we can deal with that, like removing obstacles. And this we have done over the years. We can be a little more creative. And I gave proposals how we can be more creative. There are women who can be good politicians, but they can't fight like men. We have removed violence. Now hakuna violence squeezy. Pesa ilikuwa ngumu, wanawake pia wanapata. So what is remaining? If you are in an ODM zone, once you get an ODM ticket, you are an MP. Why can't we give ODM incentives? We ask them, for every woman you bring to parliament, from the political party's fund, you'll get a certain percentage. That's being creative. But to legislate blanket, one woman, one man, that is stupid. Not for this country.
Are we in a constitutional moment? You've said we're looking at a referendum coming. If these talks are to be successful, all we're looking at is constitutional changes and a referendum in the near future. Are we there yet, where President Uhuru Kenyatta was saying the constitutional moment is upon us?
It's not there. It's unfortunate, but you'll have to fight a little more for you to have a constitution. Because, look, the counties are too many. People are saying we added them. So unless people have seen danger, the country has collapsed economically. The Kenya shilling is valueless. People are fighting left and right for the little that is there. People are almost killing each other. That's the only time you can say we don't want these stupid counties. Let's have regions, 14 or 12. These constituencies are too many. Let's have 110. You get it?
Yeah.
But time of peace and people are just laughing and enjoying tea and soda and mandazi. You can't make any serious change. People will not allow. This thing of Mugithi Muigai, people will just laugh at 100, at ungoe 190, ufute usitoke, you back in a mere. Even if you said it, people will laugh. I have suggested, for example, do you need constituencies in Nairobi? If you ask the average Kenyan in Nairobi, does he know who the MP is? Kazi MP, hata hapa ni wapi where we are?
Yeah.
Which constituency is this? I don't even know.
Yeah.
Do you know this constituency?
Is it
Dagoretti or Kibra or which is it? Which? Tell me which constituency
I
is
don't
it?
know.
I don't know. And I've been here for many years. I've never bothered to find out. And does MP have anything in my life here? All these people staying here, does MP have anything in their life?
No.
Anything? Nothing. But in the village where I come from, we know our MP. My MP is Charles Gimoso. He may not be very effective, but he's my MP, and I know him. And occasionally, he brings 500,000 to my school, Lombe, for CDF. You see, we value him. But here, so those 17, we cut. All those constituencies in town, we can remove them. But who will agree? And in times of peace, you cannot have a constitution.
In times of peace, you cannot
in times of peace.
You cannot have a constitutional moment. Well, we'll have to wait and see what these talks bring out. Of course, different proposals from different sectors, everyone coming with their own ideas on how to make this country better. Will this work for us? Until we do talk again, have yourself a lovely rest of your day.